A very good morning to you. I want to take you into this for some must-see footage. This is the terrible part of the storm, Nicole, the driving in it, but then this is the funny part here.
Oh my, look at that. The animals having fun. Go take care of yourself.
Yeah.
All right, Jacqueline and Mark falling over in the blizzard conditions, and that was just when one of our reporters was saying, how are you handling the snow out there and handling your stability? And then boom, they just fell over.
115 kilometers an hour, that was the peak wind gust. We saw them this morning on their feet, and they'll be checking in with us throughout the show. Glad you're here with us. Hopefully you had a great family day yesterday. It was a monster of a storm out in the Atlantic.
That's right, Charlottetown, 80 centimeters of snow. That's a new record for the day. And the winds, hurricane force winds in Grand Etang at 176 kilometers an hour. And still some widespread power outages this morning through parts of the east.
And we are seeing a late start to some of the schools, buses delayed. Good news is the Confederation Bridge has now opened, so travel in and out of PEI. But as we look at some of the snow today, we do have an offshore low that's going to move through, so you can expect to see a little bit more, but nothing like what we saw on the
Not at all. And temperature-wise, -6 for Halifax. There's the peaks of the sun. The Gaspé looking at about -9 for the daytime high. But as we move further towards the east,
travel was tough this weekend, and today is going to be tough as well as we still look at those wind chills. -22, -18. Of course, frostbite comes into concern when we talk about temperatures this cold. And these are records you might not want to be breaking.
Exactly. Record-breaking temperatures for Family Day. A lot of people I know were posting on social media, we're staying inside today because it's just too cold outside. That was the good thing to do. Hamilton, -29.1, breaking an old record set back in 1866.
And with all the cold, unfortunately, water main breaks were a huge issue. Imagine being stuck in this and then the freeze over happened. But then Michelle, she was brave enough to do the polar bear dip. Could you ever do it?
No.
Me neither.
I can't imagine how cold the temperatures were in the water.
Oh, I know. Just, she is very brave.
Very brave. So this morning, still cold, but not as cold as yesterday, of course, Rachel. We're going to get back into those blues. We like to see that on this map with temperatures closer to -15 for the daytime high.
I want you to watch out for Thursday, though, because Thursday, again, we're seeing that big dip in temperatures. We'll be talking about this throughout the hour. A very good morning to you. Lots of people celebrating Family Day yesterday with that nor'easter that rolled through. So a lot of people still off today. Halifax schools still closed.
Exactly. And across New Brunswick, some school closures as well. PEI, too. The whole city almost completely shut down. And a couple of late school starts. Now, our developing stories is the incredible winds and snow amounts. You have to stay tuned to see this. And record-setting extreme cold and temporary temperatures for some.
We're talking about a big dip again in Ontario. As you can see, not too much in the way of active weather going on. This is the powerful nor'easter. We'll talk about all of the details coming up. It's out of the way now, but look what it did throughout Charlottetown. This is near zero visibility. Incredible video there, Christopher. But we'll take you outside now to Mark and Jacqueline, where the visibility is looking great. You guys are on your feet. And tell us about your plan today. Getting to the airport, how are the roads looking? That's some very dense snow, guys.
Wow.
Good luck on the journey back. Of course, they'll keep us updated.
That would hurt if you threw that.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering about Mark, because sometimes he does stuff like that.
Exactly. So how much snow did you see? Take a look at Charlottetown, 80 centimeters, Halifax, 28, Yarmouth, 50, and it came down very quickly. And we do have the additional snowfall coming through later on tonight. So through the overnight, Halifax being skimmed with up to 5 centimeters, and the southern Avalon will see about 5 to 10. And Rachel, we're talking about the next storm, too.
Yes, we are. This storm that's going to happen throughout the day today, especially in the overnight, that's when it moves through. This is offshore, but as we look at Wednesday and into Thursday, more of a direct hit. Not totally showing it here, but that's just the start of it moving in Wednesday evening.
And this morning, temperature-wise, Halifax -13 with the sunshine, so at least the sun is out. Montreal -21.
And the wind chill today in the Gaspé is still feeling like the -10. So we're talking about a lot of cold. Extreme cold warnings are in place for Quebec. They have been dropped in Ontario.
Okay, I'm getting ready to do the plunge. I'm at the Great Canadian Chill. Sears puts this on. I am very nervous right now. My body is screaming at me to stop, but it's all for a good cause, raising money to end children's cancer. I'm going to hand off the mic and do it.
Okay, Michelle, we're going to cheer you in on this. Are you ready? Okay, guys, up cheer Michelle in 3, 2, 1, chill!
Where did they go?
For the weather number, I got Michelle Mackey.
That happened yesterday.
Oh, it was for a good cause.
I know. The extreme cold warning was in place, though, when she did that.
I know. Brave Michelle. I'm glad it was her, not me or you.
Me too.
She did a great job. Okay, so our top stories, we've got incredible winds and snow amounts to show you from the east from that big nor'easter, record-setting extreme cold for you in Ontario during Family Day, and temporary temperatures for some. So this afternoon, this is where I want to be. Calgary +1.
I know.
Vancouver at 11 degrees, basking in the sunshine again for this afternoon, but a different story in the east.
Oh, totally different story. Imagine dealing with this much snow over beautiful, lush conditions. We'll show you some photos coming up throughout the hour. But when we talk about a ton of snow, 80 centimeters of snow here. Halifax got 28 centimeters, which doesn't seem like too much, but then the rain hit, and the roof of the Halifax Curling Club actually collapsed under the weight of all of that snow.
Exactly. And we do have a blowing snow advisory still in play right now. St. John, the wind gusts at last check about 70 kilometers an hour. But the Southern Avalon, still a wind warning for you. And we do have parts of Nova Scotia, blizzard warnings from Cartwright to Black Tickle as well, Rachel.
Yeah, and that's as the nor'easter continues to make its exit. This is what the temperatures are like this afternoon. So doing the big snow cleanup in Moncton, -9. And this is what the scene is in Toronto. Well, and glad to see you here this morning. Rachel Schutz and Nicole Karkic. Chris Murphy off today. A lot of people were off yesterday for Family Day.
Exactly. And a couple of others off in the east because of Island Air Day and PEI. We had Heritage Day in Nova Scotia, but still another day off for many in the east because of the big storm. And we'll talk about the incredible winds and the snow amounts coming up. Record-setting extreme cold through the east and temporary temperatures for some.
Yeah, who's going to dip back down to below seasonal? You know, it's quite incredible throughout Ontario. If the city of Toronto does not go above 0 degrees in February, this will be only the second time ever since that's happened.
Wow. Well, we're definitely going to be tracking that here at the Weather Network. And we do have across the country another low that we're watching for the maritime provinces. And we are also looking at the nice warm temperatures in the west. But let's go to the east.
For sure. It really was, it's a good piece of video. If you haven't seen it yet, you'll have to stay with us throughout the show because we're going to show it to you.
Exactly. It's pretty impressive. Now, Charlottetown, 80 centimeters of snow. This was Sunday through to Monday. Sunday alone, you picked up 64 centimeters, which broke the record for that day. But the all-time day record is 74 centimeters, so still not quite there.
And that's a record you sometimes don't want to break.
Exactly.
When we look at this morning, -18 in Moncton, -27 in Sherbrooke, Quebec. We're talking about the extreme cold as blizzard-like conditions certainly came into play, and you pair that with the extreme cold as well. Good news is this extreme cold alert has been ended now throughout Ontario.
Right, and because of broken pipes in the city of Toronto, I know subway services were impacted, people's homes completely ruined because of it, and the numbers, I mean, they show it. Hamilton, -29.1, set the old record it beat 1866, so before Canada was officially a country.
Really, it's incredible when we look at some of these temperatures. -35.4 in Muskoka. This does not take into account the wind chill that they were feeling as well. As we look at the jet stream, it has dipped so far south. This extreme cold has leaked into some places that, well, you like to get away and vacation for some warmth.
Exactly. Florida not as warm as you want it to be. Tennessee dealing with temperatures in the minus single digits for today. And looking ahead across the country, we will be seeing more of that coming up.
This morning we jumped into your forecast. We talked about the blizzard aftermath, the extreme cold, and new storms on the horizon.
We also checked in with Jacqueline Whittle and Mark Robinson, stranded in the east because of the storm.
Highlight of chasing this nor'easter for me was certainly when I got knocked off my feet. How embarrassing was that? I couldn't quit laughing because I was just saying how I have to stand there and be grounded.
And this pup in New Brunswick almost having as much fun as Jacqueline out in the storm.
Aww. And Massachusetts still being hammered with snow, and check out this video here. Wow.
And we'll leave you with this icy Niagara Falls.
See you tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. Eastern.